Ladies and gentlemen, the world of professional wrestling never stops, and welcome to another ridiculous report. An OnlyFans model has called out AJ Lee and CM Punk, and that OnlyFans model's name is former WWE superstar Matt Riddle. He was supposed to be at a charity event, a charity wrestling event. He didn't show up, no-show to his Global Wrestling Kingdom. The owner of the company couldn't reach him. He sent a driver to the airport. The driver's waiting for hours. And then, later in the night, Riddle says, I was unsatisfied with my seats or whatever in the plane, so I decided to go to Miami instead. Well, he goes on TMZ's Inside the Ring podcast. He continues to take shots at CM Punk, suggests he's a creep for hanging out with NXT stars such as Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, calling them his daughters. This is all creepy, according to Matt Riddle, who used to have a family and now is dating a porn star model and has an OnlyFans account. That is creepy, according to Matt Riddle there. But what set people off is what he said about AJ Lee. It was kind of really uncalled for. Here's what he said. AJ, I have no problem with her. I'm a little fucked up myself, but she did get around from what I heard. But no disrespect to that. People like to hook up. I find that hard to believe, but even if it were true, it's not Matt Riddle's business to share with the public. This guy is an absolute tool bag. Just straight up an absolute tool bag. Just Google Matt Riddle, JFK Airport. All you need to know about him, the idea that he's deciding who's creepy or not. Again, he used to have a family, now he has an OnlyFans. Taking shots at CM Punk and AJ Lee because they're popular now. He's jealous or bitter or he had some kind of issue with CM Punk. Everybody has an issue with CM Punk, I guess, but apparently Matt Riddle does as well. I don't know what interactions they would have had, but Matt Riddle has nobody to blame for the situation he is in his career but himself. He has nobody else to blame. He's got the red hair, and he's on a TMZ wrestling podcast. That's where you are right now, Matt Riddle. Congratulations. But speaking of AJ Lee, her return match has pretty much been confirmed by Brian Alvarez. He said this on the Wrestling Observer Live show. He said, we can confirm that it's a mixed tag, CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, and it will be at WrestlePalooza. They're loading up to try to destroy AEW All Out, and we'll see if they can do it. That's what Alvarez said. Then another report later on said that AJ Lee might be at SmackDown this Friday night, or at least referenced. SmackDown's in Chicago, CM Punk's hometown. There's over 16,000 people going to be at that show. And, so that's when AJ Lee's returning. She's definitely having a match at WrestlePalooza. She could be appearing tomorrow night on SmackDown or referenced. Punk could bring her name up. We'll see what happens. But there's a lot of excitement about AJ Lee, and I think Tony Khan made the right decision regarding AEW All Out. It came out yesterday that right before Dynamite that AEW All Out's going to be changing their time to 3 p.m. Eastern instead of starting right when WrestlePalooza would have started at 7 p.m. I think that's a smart move. I don't think AEW, Tony Khan, etc. has the guns anymore to compete with a WWE show of this magnitude with, Brock Lesnar's return match probably, AJ Lee returning to the ring, Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes is rumored, whatever the hell else. Stephanie Vaquer versus Io Sky is going to be an incredible match, and they can't counter that with Riho returning. That doesn't work. It just doesn't work for me. Riho hasn't had a match since last year, I don't think, since like over a year ago, and all of a sudden she's getting a shot at Mercedes Moné at All Out. I don't care. All Out feels like an afterthought, and it's sad. I will see if Tony Khan can come up with something exciting in the next couple weeks to get interest generated again. We got some bad news today. Kenny Omega is not going to be on the show. He was ridden off television this past Wednesday night on Dynamite via attack by the Don Callis family and Kyle Fletcher. So no Kenny Omega, no Will Ospreay, no Swerve Strickland because of injuries. Kenny Omega's situation is getting dire here. Like he's barely been back, and when he's back, he's wrestling in these multi-man death matches. That's like, take it easy. Give us a story and take it easy. And I don't get it. I don't get AEW, but I think they made the right decision by switching the time of All Out because they can't go against WrestlePalooza, especially with the AJ Lee return. So much buzz. And also some more news regarding AEW and HBO Max. Their pay-per-views are now $40 on the streaming platform, but you still have to subscribe to HBO Max. So regardless, that puts you at $50 a month if you just get the standard tier, and then if you get the middle tier and the $25 one, which whatever, you're over $50 per month for an AEW pay-per-view, but maybe you get better streaming quality. I don't know. I don't think that's a good enough deal. WWE's with the $30 a month now thing on ESPN, but you get a lot more. But yeah, I just think Tony Khan made the right call. He's getting a lot of criticism on social media, people calling him a coward for moving his time. I think he's a good businessman. You're trying to get the most money out of that event. You limit your audience by going up against WWE, and I agree that WWE's being douchebags by doing this. But Tony Khan's taken about 40,000 shots at WWE over the years. Triple H seems like a guy who holds a grudge. I don't know if you got that impression, but it seems like a guy to me that holds a grudge, that wants to take AEW down himself and just wants everything to be about himself. So I feel like Triple H is on a mission to destroy AEW or take whatever piece of the pie they have in the wrestling business and just diminish their value. I think AEW and Tony Khan did the right thing here by moving the show. And if I were them, I wouldn't say anything about WWE until your product is good again. And you're nowhere close to that right now. The product is just nowhere close to being good, in my opinion. It's just not even close. I think they made the right call, and I think at the end of the day, All Out's going to be overshadowed by WrestlePalooza on September 20th. Finally, WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash responded to Becky Lynch making a joke about Ozzy Osbourne's death a couple weeks ago on Raw. And he said this on his Click This podcast. He suggested that Becky Lynch's time in the spotlight was over. I think her run's over. I think she's grasping. I think that the business has passed her by, said Kevin Nash. When Becky Lynch made those comments about Ozzy Osbourne, those were terrible comments. They were trying to be a heel, but you got to give it more than a month after a death to start saying comments like that, especially someone of the magnitude of Ozzy Osbourne. You got to give it some time. Maybe if she said that joke next year, it would have worked, but right now, no. But Kevin Nash is out of his mind for saying that the business has passed Becky Lynch by. Do you see her promo with CM Punk on Raw? Do you see how hateable she was, just smacking the shit out of him with that evil face? The people that hate CM Punk loved her for it. The people that like CM Punk hated Becky Lynch for it. But she's just a brilliant heel. She's good as a babyface. The man character was cool, but as a heel, she's so much better, in my opinion. I think she's a tremendous heel, and I think this partnership with Seth Rollins, with them both as heels, instead of trying to be cool, trying to take down the people who are cool, I think that's an excellent route to go, because I think Seth Rollins is much better as a heel as well, by leaps and bounds. So I don't know what the hell Kevin Nash is talking about. Becky Lynch made a bad joke. That doesn't mean her career's over. I just think Kevin Nash got mad at that comment and went a little too far, in my opinion. No way the business has passed Becky Lynch by. Absolutely no way. But that is it for this edition of The Ridiculous Report. If you have not subscribed, please do so. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good one.